Rabbits are no match for most snakes that might want to have them for dinner. But when their young ones are in danger, the situation turns around real quick. This cottontail rabbit found out a bit too late about the presence of a black rat snake in her nest. 2 of her young bunnies were already dead, but the remaining one made enough noise to arouse the mom's curiosity. The cottontail knows the snake can't be up to any good, so she launches into a series of bites and kicks in what experts said were efforts to disembowel the rat snake.
Okay.
This 2019 video captures the various twists and turns a kangaroo rat makes midair after kicking away a rattlesnake's open jaws. According to researchers, the twists and turns aren't random as some people might think. They're very specific and serve to keep the rattlesnake guessing just long enough for the rats to figure out the escape route. The lion and spitting cobra are 2 species on top of the food chain, meaning no animal is preying on them. While they can bite, the spitting cobra has a mechanism that enables it to spit its venom up to 6 feet away. As you can see in this video, the venom irritates the eyes, causing temporary or even permanent blindness in some cases. The lions are young, so curiosity gets them nosing around with an opponent they shouldn't. But on the other hand, the cobra also knows how to tread carefully, seeing as it's dealing with one of nature's most successful predators. In Bhubaneswar, India, a cobra that was on the verge of slithering into a home couldn't after the cat at the residence refused to budge. Thankfully, a snake helpline responder came over and took away the cobra before the situation could escalate any further. Kudos to the cat for standing up to the snake, though. A highly venomous snake getting into the house is the last thing anyone would want. In this video, a rattlesnake was just in the process of trying to grab an early morning snack, but he's spotted by the adult prairies who raise alarm calls to send young ones into hiding. With the pup prairie dog safe, the adults embark on a mission to drive the serpent away. The rattlesnake clearly has an upper hand given its highly venomous nature, but the prairie dogs find strength in numbers. Too afraid to attack, the rattlesnake dives into a nearby burrow where the prairie dogs gladly bury him alive. For some snakes, though, they know just how much of a challenge these tiny mammals can be. The hedgehogs are known to hunt some of the most formidable snakes, like the viper in this video. While it does seem intimidating compared to its hedgehog foe, the viper knows the hedgehog doesn't play around when it's on a hunting spree. And within a few seconds, the snake's fears are confirmed when the hedgehog delivers the killing bite. Being one of the most venomous snakes on the planet, few animals would wish to mess with a black mamba. But this mongoose doesn't seem to care about this. To him, this black mamba is just yet another meal, and no matter the very real danger of a fatal strike, snake dinner must be served. As it has always been for the past thousands of years that these two have been fighting, the mongoose just keeps pacing about until the black mamba wears itself out. After that, a single bite to the back of the head is enough for the mongoose to secure a meal.
They're the big, hairy spiders of our nightmares.
Researchers in Brazil had quite a surprise when they stumbled upon a wild tarantula snacking on a foot-long, decomposing, non-venomous snake. And oblivious to the researchers' presence, the giant spider just continued digging into the snake's insides as they took pictures. According to the researchers, the snake might have been an unfortunate victim of an ambush attack after accidentally sliding into the tarantula's hideout. To tear into the intruder, the tarantula most certainly employed its scary long fangs, but it wasn't clear if this is what killed the snake. Unlike some of its peers, the mole snake isn't actually venomous, but its extra sharp fangs can be a nightmare for any of its opponents. Well, except the honey badger, of course. In this footage, the two face off in a fight to the death, and if you know anything about honey badgers, you can tell the snake's odds aren't that good. Thanks to the badger's thick skin and a can-do attitude, it persists despite the snake's repeated bites right in the face. At the end of it all, the badger goes in for its classic move in such situations, biting just behind the snake's head to immobilize. Game over. Bobcats are another nightmare to even the most venomous snakes on the planet, like the rattlesnake. In this footage from a trail cam, the two engage in a fierce battle, each trying to stay out of the other's strike. The rattlesnake has the advantage of venom, and a single one of its strikes could be bad news for the bobcat. The bobcat, on the other hand, is pretty agile, managing to evade the rattlesnake's bite the entire time. Thanks to its quick paws, it delivers several blows to the rattlesnake's head before finally going in for a bite behind the snake's head to kill it. Snakes in the African savanna have a big enemy in the form of a secretary bird. As you can see in this video, all the bird does is stomp the hell out of its serpentine foes before swallowing them whole. And while these stomps might seem erratic, they're quite calculated and are aimed at the snake's head for a faster kill. The kick is also quite powerful, delivering up to 5 times the bird's weight with a contact time of just 15 milliseconds, which is about 1/10 of the time it takes you to blink. All these help to keep the bird safe from venomous snakes when it's out there looking for dinner. In November 2019, onlookers were treated to an epic battle between the two in the Masai Mara Triangle Reserve in Kenya. For a few seconds, the python had the leopard in a tight grip, threatening to squeeze the life out of it. Thanks to the leopard's quick thinking, though, it managed to escape the vice-like grip, claw, and then bite the snake's head, possibly killing it. Interestingly, the two had been eyeing the same impala before they ended up on each other's bad side. Snake eagles, as the name suggests, have a thing for snakes, and they go about having their fill in one of the most brutal ways. In this footage, captured at Kruger National Park in South Africa, this snake eagle casually snacks on a puff adder's internal organs as the snake tries to get away. Of course, escaping here is a big problem for the snake, given the eagle's sharp talons and firm grip. After a bit of plucking around, the snake eagle reportedly tore the puff adder into 2 before flying off with the tail end. As one of the most venomous snakes, the puff adder's venom glands are located in the head, and clearly, the eagle didn't want to mess with that. In this 2019 video, an alligator is chomping down on a large Burmese python in the Everglades in Florida. The battle before this scene was certainly epic because both reptiles have their own unique strengths that make them formidable opponents. Battles between giant Burmese pythons and alligators have been quite common in the Everglades for the past few years, with both sides suffering casualties. The presence of the pythons is all thanks to private owners who released them into the wild when they couldn't keep up with the snake's needs. Just like mother rabbits, hens get all daring when the lives of their young ones are on the line. In this video, the mom isn't afraid of facing off with 3 cobras who were probably trying to have a bite of her kids. Even though they had clearly outnumbered their target, the cobras came up short as every one of their strikes was being met with the hen's brood beak. And while it might not sound like much of a force, it worked well enough to keep the nosy serpents away.